My name is Leo Connors, and welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. Tonight, I got a very special guest, professional wrestler, Aries.
What's going on, Leo?
How are you?
Good to see you.
Nice to see you, too. I've had some of your friends on here, some fellow some guys in the trade. You're wearing Kid V's shirt.
Yeah,
I gotta get some shirts from you guys.
On Pro Wrestling Tees, you know what I'm saying? You could get my shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees as well, you know, so I just wanted to plug them in there real quick.
Yes. Well, listen, I did not know this, but you do music, too.
Yeah, I do.
Why don't, before we get into the wrestling and all that, we talk a little bit about that. How long have you been doing music?
I've been doing music since I was like 18. I found that passion pretty young, but it started when I lived in Orlando.
Yeah.
And I was doing shows out there. I was starting to get some traction. It's funny, I started under like Christian hip hop, and then I kind of like merged different avenues and lanes, I guess, to my music. And then when I came over here, I was trying to get into the scene, and the scene in Massachusetts or like the North is way different than it is in the South, man. So it was hard to get it jumping. But I still do it. I still have like some stuff in the vault, you know, and I just been focusing mainly on the wrestling stuff for right now.
Now, do you use any of your music for you?
Yeah.
Is that your entrance?
Yeah, my theme song is my song.
Nice.
Yeah.
Has anybody else used any of it?
I'm not sure. I've had a couple guys come up to me and tell me that they wanted me to work with them on making some music, and I'm just waiting for them to DM me. That's all.
All right. Nice. All right. That's great. If anything else you want to talk about later about music, just let me know.
Right on, man.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Lowell, Mass. I was born in Lawrence.
You were born in Lawrence, yeah?
Yeah. And then I spent most of my teenage years in Florida. And then I came back when I was about like 19 or so.
Nice. I'm from Lowell, too.
Oh,
That's why I got excited. Yeah, I'm from Lowell. When was the first time you saw pro wrestling?
I can't even remember. I just remember maybe when I was like, a vivid memory was the time that John Cena got drafted to Raw in like the early 2000s. So that's like the earliest memory of like wrestling, but like literally my whole life is just pro wrestling. Like,
nice. All right. Were your friends and family into it?
So my brother, I was into it because of my brother, and then my brother eventually grew out of it.
Right.
But I stayed into it. I had an uncle, you know, he passed away this past year, and he was a big fan of pro wrestling. So it was like he was, every time I went to his house for the holidays or whatever, we'd always just like sit, watch wrestling. He'd tell me about all these. He'd order the pay-per-views back then when it was pay-per-views, and he'd get like signed chairs sometimes and stuff like that. So it was really cool to share that stuff with him. But yeah. Yeah, a few family members, not much.
Okay. And who were some of your favorites? Was Cena one of your favorites?
No, I actually hated Cena.
Really?
Yeah. I love him now and respect him now.
Right.
But growing up, I was a big fan of The Rock, big fan of Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy was probably like the biggest reason why I wanted long hair, tattoos, and wanted to be out the box. And then slowly Randy Orton. Yeah. And then if we're talking about like today's age type stuff, Roman Reigns is doing like amazing stuff. And I try to be a student to the game of that. Like, if whenever I get to work heel, I try to study whatever he does. You know?
Nice, and he's killing it right now. Yeah. And what do you think about since Triple H took over? I think it's been going good.
No, yeah, man. The product has been like now entertaining or like interesting, with everything that happened, and so now it's like starting to draw more eyes the way that they're going about like mainstream media, like getting Logan Paul and all this stuff. Like they're very strategic and smart when it comes to stuff, and Triple H has always had a mind for the business in a pro wrestling aspect. So it's going to be very interesting to see where WWE ends up in the next few years, because they were mainly towards entertainment, you know, sports entertainment, and now they're slowly starting to go back to the pro wrestling side of things.
You're starting to hear them say pro wrestling and pro wrestlers, not superstars and stuff. It's really exciting. Tell us about your first show that you went to.
So my first show, like, is it any or it has to be done like?
No, anything you want. What the first show you went to, then maybe an indie show too.
So yeah, I went to a SmackDown like a long time ago in Orlando, and I vividly remember like I don't know if it was Dean Ambrose and Cesaro, but Dean Ambrose was in the match, and they had like this whole little big like chair spot where Dean fell on all the chairs, and it was a cool little experience. It was the first time I ever went to a wrestling show.
Right.
But yeah, like that's the time I ever went. I think I was like 16 maybe. So.
And that was in Orlando?
Yeah, in Orlando.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about your very first indie show? Was it one that you were working, or did you go to indie shows before that?
No, I didn't realize how big the indies were, like around the area when I started like looking into like pro wrestling locally. But my first indie show was Chaotic in Tewksbury like last summer.
Nice.
So that was like once I got there and I had like front row and I was like, holy crap, dude!
They put on a good show.
This is good, dude. So after that, I was just pulling up everywhere, every time I could. Then like maybe my second or third, it was last year's Chaotic Countdown.
Those are always great shows. Oh, yeah, man. Always great shows.
That was the show that I decided that I wanted to do this.
Really?
Yeah. So that was when I decided.
Well, that just took care of the next question. That's perfect.
Right on.
All right. So, where did you train first? I know you said you told me off air you've trained at two different places, and you're pretty much at Next Gen now. But is that where you went first, or did you go to NEPWA first?
No,
New England Pro Wrestling Academy.
I started at NEPWA first.
Okay.
And because I was living very close to it, I didn't know how close they were.
Right.
And then I had a pretty decent paying job at the time. So what really like caused it was like 2020 when COVID happened. And like when we went through that whole year, I was just like, what the hell am I doing, dude? Like, yeah, I'm making music, but like wrestling has always been my passion.
Right.
I just didn't want to be like 40, 50 years old wondering what if. So I was just like, you know what? I just need to be able to send it. I need to bet on myself. And I started at NEPWA, and then I was there for about 3 to 4 months. Lost my job. There was a lot of like personal things going on in my personal life, which caused me to take like a minor break from pro wrestling. And when I came back, I didn't have the funds for NEPWA, so I was looking into other options.
Right.
I sometimes work with this guy named Ashton. He owns a virtual basement. He's currently working on a video game called The Wrestling Code.
Oh, nice.
And he gave me the recommendation about Next Gen, and so I was like, all right, cool, And I went to go check it out one day, and as soon as I walked in, I was just like, yeah, this is the place I want to be.
Right.
And I've been at NEPWA Next Gen since January.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when Bud opened the place. It was great. And with Julian Starr. Let's talk about Julian.
So Julian, man, that man is like something else, man. So like, unfortunately, I haven't had too much time to be able to do any of his classes because his classes runs on like different days than Bud's, and like due to work schedule and travels at the time. Now I'm a little more flexible being able to attend those classes. But I was working on like, I think there was this lucha arm drag I was working on. Like it's kind of like a little springboard from the corner, and I was having a hard time trying to get into it coming down. And Julian had shot me this idea about switching positions and the arms and made it flow so much more.
Right.
And then I've seen the work he's been doing with the other students. And then every time that I'm coming in on a Bud day and I'm catching up with the guys that I haven't seen on Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm seeing these dudes make crazy improvements. And I'm like, holy crap, dude, And like one of the dudes, I'm gonna give him a shout out, Mike Tedesco. Like, when he first started, I kid you not, I looked at that kid and I was just like, I don't know if this is gonna be it for him, But he took the ball and he ran with it, and he grinded. He's lost mad weight. He works really well now, and he's gonna be debuting at the Clipper, which is freaking huge.
Yeah.
And so I could just tell the mind and knowledge that Julian has is very positive in a sense because I've seen so many people from our school improve just working with him.
So who else at the school? Is Will at your school? Will Duncan?
No, he was, but now he's at EPWA or Elite Pro Wrestling Academy.
Okay.
He started there, but now he's over there now. We have so there's me, there's Kid V, there's Cassius Hall, there's Mike Tedesco, Tyler Burpee. Jonathan Saucier, he was on here.
Yep. I know Jonathan.
Just got like 2 new signees recently. And we have like 2 managers. And we're also running a youth program, which is really cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like the first pro wrestling school to do that. And it's just been so cool to see like these young little kids like come in on a Saturday afternoon when they could just be like outside doing something else or playing video games. And they're getting in there just learning to run the ropes, learning the process of what it is to be pro wrestling and the process and dedication that it takes, and just seeing them like blossom, because if we could focus on the future, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
I could do for that, man.
Now, who else is training? Is it just Bud and Julian training over there now, or is Setherin come in at all, Amato?
No.
Because, I know he's trained so many people. I'm surprised that he wasn't up there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the deal is with him. I haven't seen much of him around, like, at Next Gen. But, yeah, it's just Bud and Julian right now. Yeah.
Good. That's good. All right. Why don't you tell us about your first booking?
Wow. All right. So, it was March, I believe. This past March. It was March or April. But I'll never forget it. It's one of those things because this business is so funny. It's like this business could flip on a dime,
Right.
So my debut was against Congo, and prayers and thoughts to Congo with what he's going through right now. And I owe a lot to him. He's one of the guys that even after my match, he keeps in touch, gives me advice in the back and stuff like that. So definitely able to work him was awesome. I was nervous as hell. And then I was told it was a one-done deal for the time being.
Right.
But then, that didn't happen.
That was for APW, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for APW, and I took on Congo, and, he came to the back and he was like, man, like, for the time, at that time, I was like 8 months in.
Right.
And he was very impressed, and a lot of people were happy and impressed. And I just felt like at that moment, I was like, all right, I know I belong here. And dude, I went to go grab one of your meatballs after, man, and Congo rocked the smack out of me, man. Like my jaw, I couldn't open it. I couldn't enjoy that, man. I needed to enjoy that, dude. And he took that from me, but he apologized and checked on me in the back and stuff. So that was a night I'll never forget, man. That was fun.
That's awesome. Great worker too, Congo.
Thank you, man.
Great work, and yourself, you really are. I think I told you. And matter of fact, Kid V had a match. It might have been against Congo, and I hit him up later on that night. Told him, "Wow, you guys are coming along really well." So back to just real quick when you were at Nepwa.
Right.
Did you train with my friend Brandon Belanger?
I did. That's my guy.
Brandon's been a guest here like 6 times.
I love that dude, man. I love that dude. He's a really good people's. He was one of the guys like when I started there, and I was like really struggling to like get through certain stuff, drills, workouts or whatever. It was him, Sean Vegan Keegan, and Slater, El Spartano.
Yep.
They were always like in my ear trying to push me through. So I owe a lot to the beginning of keeping me going. To Brendan, he's one of those guys. So.
Yeah, he's a great kid. He stopped me in Market Basket one day and just said, "Hey, do you have like a show?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Do you ever think about having fans on?" I'm like, "You want to come on?" I brought him on so many times. He's a great kid. Didn't you do his podcast? I did his first podcast that he did.
Right on.
I was a guest on that one.
Right on. Yeah, I did an episode, I think, near the end of the winter when he was like, I think he had taken a break and then he was like restarting it up. And I did an episode with him too. So
nice.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, he's a great guy. And by the way, congratulations. I don't think I've seen you, Brandon, since you've been married. All right, so let's jump into some fan questions. A lot of these guys know you from doing shows and stuff. Jared Doomling, who you probably see all the time with his son William.
Yep.
If you had to choose one, are you more proud of your music career or your wrestling career?
So yeah, I saw that question, and I think that's a really good question.
Yeah.
And, right now, definitely, I'm more proud of my pro wrestling career over my music career. With my music, it's hard because everybody and their mom want to be a rapper.
Right.
No,
so I hear you.
Like when people hear, oh, you make music, 9 times out of 10 they don't even want to listen. And the music that I tend to make is not the trap that people listen to in the clubs and stuff like that. It's more relatable.
Yep.
And I always try to keep it real and use my real experiences. So it was always hard to grab an audience or get people to like really understand because like my music wasn't the ones that they were like, oh, let me go for a ride and just pop this in or whatever. I had some good ones, but my pro wrestling career has been like way more. I've been able to meet Nunzio. I've been able to travel. I met Crowbar. I've been able to work with the video game. I've, recently just got to work AG. And like everything that's happened in my pro wrestling career has done nothing but benefit me, man.
Right.
So it's just like goals, and I achieve them. I just keep going,
Right. Seeing you brought up AG, I'm pretty sure somebody asked a question with AG in there, didn't they?
I think it was Brendan.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Where is it? Yeah. How did it feel to work Anthony Green, and what did you learn from him? Thanks, Brandon.
So, very good question. It was one of those full circle moments for me, because when I first started at Netball, AG had just got released from WWE, and he ran a class. And when I first started off, I wasn't like in the best shape, and they made us run a mile around the neighborhood. And I was the last one there, and I'm running down the hill, and I'm just like beating myself up. I'm like, man, I can't believe I'm doing this right now. And I see AG and Sean Keegan at the bottom of the hill waiting for me. And when I get there, they're running with me to the door. And we're in there, everybody's just doing their thing. And I'll never forget, he told everybody in that building, he was like, listen, if this was the Performance Center, none of you guys would be in the building right now. We would all have to wait for the last person because we're brothers.
You're a group,
we're a group, you know? And that always stuck with me. So when Mike Morris gave me the call saying that I was working AG, I was like, holy crap, man. Like, this is a bucket list for me right there. So it was great. And the mind that he has, like, I learned really like how to get through a match and really work everything and really be able to sell what's been worked, you know? And he challenged me to that, and I didn't think I could hang, and he showed me that I could hang.
Nice.
And man, that man's knowledgeable as hell, bro.
And he just got back from Japan.
Yeah, I know. And
he was over there for a few weeks.
I know.
That's pretty awesome.
Heck yeah.
All right, our next question is from Jordan Gray. What inspired you to wrestle?
So yeah, I've always, like I said, I've had the passion for wrestling all the time, but it really was that 2020 that really made me go, all right, let me just give it a try. Let me run with it. And then I found out that, you know, my uncle had passed, and I know that he would have been happy, you know, and I know that I always had him in spirit. So like, he was another big reason why I wanted to keep doing this, you know, because I know he'd be one of those guys in the crowd every show, cheering me on. So definitely it was because of COVID and my uncle.
That's awesome. It's good to have inspiration. Andrew Kane, dream match on the New England circuit, and man, I mean, you just had one.
I know, that's one of them. I have a few of them, man. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm checking off another one because MSP is a big tag team. We're trying to push our tag team out there, the neighborhood, and we're actually going to get to work them in November, which is going to be really cool. But if we're talking like one-on-ones, Love Doug is big on my list. Sean V and Keegan, I haven't gotten to work him. And then I believe there's one more person, and I can't get it off the top of my tongue right now, but like those are the top dudes right now.
Nice.
Oh, Gal Barquet, bro. Gal all
day.
Dude.
That kid is pretty impressive, man.
Bro, he's been a huge supporter of me, which is like, has been like huge, because I think this dude is like WWE top tier right now, and he's just getting better.
Definitely looks
age.
it for sure. Man, you know what I mean?
And so he's always there in my DMs, just like, yo, keep it up, bro. Proud of you. So it's just like, those are the guys that within the next year I could definitely see me working.
Excellent. All right, Jay Daravong.
Man, who the hell that?
Who is that guy?
Who is that guy?
Dream tag. I think I know where he's going with this. Dream tag team partner, or at least one that is acceptable for the time being.
Man, can we move on? Can we just move on? Man, I just brought you up and I'm wearing your shirt, cut. Come on. Move on.
We know what it is. All right, Andy Miller. Who was your favorite and least favorite wrestlers growing up?
Favorite, Jeff Hardy. Least favorite, John Cena.
All right. And then you said you learned to respect, because I'll be honest with you, I wasn't a big fan of him at first, but now that he's done, you look at his body of work and all the Make-A-Wishes and all that, how can you talk trash about the guy?
Right on, yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
Nothing but respect. Nathan Ortiz, what is the most important skill you have picked up while training to be a pro wrestler? That's a good question.
Shout out to the bro, that's my brother. So the biggest skill I guess I've learned was staying consistent, you know, because with everything, like whether it's music, whether it's pro wrestling, any other passions people may have, like dedication and consistency is key. You know, you can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna put 50% today, 50% tomorrow, 50% the next day, and then put 100% here. It's like, no, you have to put in 110% every day, and then until you get better. And then when you get better, you're gonna find what the hell is still not good, and you gotta find the next thing, you know? So it's staying consistent. You know?
Nice. All right, pro wrestling politician. Here's another guy who wants to talk about himself. Just kidding, Matt. Thoughts on the politician?
Thoughts on the politician, man. I think
Good guy.
Much respect, man, because he's stepping into the business with, you know, a man of his size, you know, being able to move in the ring. Like I've gotten to work with him. He started at Next Gen and now he's at Elite. He's good. He's trying to get out there. I respect it. You know, for him, he just needs to keep at it, and eventually, you know, he'll be able to get to where he wants to be. But yeah, he's a good dude, man.
No doubt, no doubt. Just teasing you, Matt. Hunter Davenport. What motivates Monty Aries?
So a lot of things motivate me, man. Failure motivates me. My daughter motivates me. But yeah, just that's really it, man. That's just I get scared of failing,
right?
You know, and then if I do, I try not to dwell on it too much, and I try to take that L and not look at it as a loss, as a lesson, and just try to pick myself up and just try to get on to the next, you know. So my daughter and failure are the things that keep me going, man.
Nice.
You know?
And how old is your daughter?
My daughter's 3.
Nice.
Yeah, man. She's 3.
Excellent. I got 2 daughters and a son. Ronnie Maestro, who was here a couple weeks ago, last week. Where do you see yourself in 5 years professionally? Good question, Ronnie.
That is a good question. Ideally, I just want to be signed.
Yeah.
You know, that's my goals going into the next 5 years. If I have it right now, I'm doing well. I'm trying to just get my name out there, get eyes on me, and just show that I belong.
Right.
I felt like a lot of people didn't see that in me at first, and now that I'm really putting in work and really getting opportunities, people are starting to see it. So 5 years from now, I'm praying that I could possibly be somewhere signed.
Nice. You know? It's good to have goals. Cassius Hall, what is the origin of the main shooter, and where does it come from?
The origin of the main shooter. So the origin of the main shooter was backyard. And
listen, everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
Everyone's done it. People that sit there and get trash on it, they did it too.
I know. But it's really stems from a place that like where I grew up. So I grew up in South Lowell. With time, that place has started getting worse. And I've grew up around people that were thugs that were, you know, not the best of the best.
Right.
You know, so I always tried to stem away from that. But like in the world of professional wrestling, I take that and I just use that and try to build on it because people always look at me like that type of dude. People will see me and they'll be like, man, I'm like, be careful with that guy. But it's like, dude, I'm a teddy bear, dog. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I just kind of just stemmed it from like my childhood and the people I've been around and, you know, the culture that I grew up on, you know, hip hop and stuff like that, the people that represent that. So that's really where the main shooter came from, you know. It's just shooting the shots until, you know, there ain't no more.
Now, what part of South Lowell? Gorham Street?
Exactly.
So you went to the Butler School?
Nah, it's funny because I grew up on South Whipple.
Yep.
And I went to the Sullivan. And then we moved to London Street. And then I went to Lowell High.
Okay.
So I didn't go to the Butler, but my brother and my little sister went to the Butler.
Okay. My son went there. That's why. Yeah.
I know.
All right. Next question is from Dave Forney, a good friend of the show. He's got a couple of them. What one piece of advice would you give someone interested in training to be a wrestler? It could be more than one, but what's the one main one you might?
Block out the outside noise.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. So many people start getting things going, and when stuff outside of your craft start to like bother you and start to affect you, you start to notice that your performance ain't there, your passion ain't there, and then you're so caught up with the outside noise that you slowly fade from your passion. And I struggled with that heavy. And that's the biggest thing I could tell anybody is block out the outside noise, stay consistent, and don't quit before you see the fruits of your labor. So many people do that. And it's just like, all you had to do was wait it out a little more and you would have had it, you know? So those are my biggest things that I tell to anybody.
Dude, that's great advice. That's something that I needed to take.
Right on.
Honestly, that's great. What has been your favorite match you've had so far?
Man, So at first it was me versus Kid at APW, I think last month for the little mini tournament that they had for the APW.
Right, yeah, that was the one I wasn't at.
That was probably my favorite until I had my AG match. And
Right.
The AG match right now is top of the list just because he's such a big name around here that like me being where I'm from and where I'm at now, to have that opportunity to be in a position
that early in your career.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll forever be thankful. You know, AG. You know, I got put over, and it was just like, holy crap. You know, like now I'm like starting to believe I'm here. You know,
and he wants everybody to get better too. You know what I mean? He's not a selfish guy in the ring. Very obviously, humble. I mean, I've watched him put over a few people recently,
right.
And it's great to see.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes that's what a younger guy needs too. Sometimes,
yeah, exactly.
You know, that little bit of notoriety of going toe to toe with someone like that.
Yeah.
You know. All right. Dave also wants to know, what are some of the challenges you have faced, both on shows and while training? I think you kind of already went through that by saying, you know, staying focused and things like that. Is there anything you want to add to that?
Just not allowing the thoughts, you know, those negative thoughts to overbear my mental, you know, because there's so many times there's been drills and matches that I've had that I've watched back and I'm like, I'm not happy with that.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, I could have done this better, I could have done that better. But then again, everybody tends to just stay stuck on that instead of trying to improve it.
Right.
So I always struggle with like trying to be better than the last time I was in the ring, you know. So but yeah, that's probably the biggest.
All right. Andy Miller's back, has another question. What do you like most about pro wrestling? And what do you like the least about pro wrestling, if there is anything?
So the thing I love the most about pro wrestling, man, is that the ability to take people on a journey and a story and just allow people to eliminate any stresses from the outside, to just sit there for an hour or two to be entertained.
Right.
You know, like somebody could be coming into the show having the most crappiest day.
Yeah.
You know, there could be a little kid in the crowd that's maybe just got yelled at by their parent or something like that, or they did something and now they feel bad. Then they see these larger than life characters come out and interact with them and give them a good time. And it's like for that brief moment, they're just happy, you know, and there's so much negativity in the world that like, life's too short, bro.
Right.
So it's like, that's my favorite thing about pro wrestling, being able to bring that joy, being able to tell a story in there and have people gravitate and connect.
Right.
You know, that's my biggest thing. My least favorite thing about pro wrestling is I don't really know. Maybe I don't really know.
All right.
Man.
That's all right, but I got to say, I've seen you interact with a lot of the kids at APW, and you're awesome with them. You really are. All you guys are, though. Everyone that comes out, you know what I mean, to see the kids at intermission, everybody's been fantastic. All right, this got to be like an inside joke between you and Sonny. That's what I would think. Who would win in a fight? A tuna sandwich or peanut butter and jelly? Does that mean anything to you?
Listen, the only thing I'm going to say is that one day Sonny told me to just, Monty, cut me a promo on PB&J, and all right, cut him a promo.
Yeah.
I think that's just Sonny being Sonny, man. Like, I don't know how to
I think he just wanted you just wanted to hear you do a promo, but he wanted to throw something at you that you would not expect.
Exactly, and that's always what he does, man.
All right.
I love the guy, though, man.
Last question we got from is Anthony Mark Balkas, who was one of APW's biggest fans. He's always got his little kids there with him. How did you become a wrestler? And if you could ever wrestle anyone in New England, past or present, who would it be and why? So when we go to the first part, I don't know. I think you kind of maybe already explained it. How did you become a wrestler?
Yeah.
So Anthony, I know Anthony will watch the show, so he'll get that part. But anybody that in the past or even the present right now, I know you said those guys. How about some veterans that you would like to step in the ring with? That'd be it, you know?
Sonny, $300, bro. Come out of retirement, beat your butt. No, I'm just kidding. You know, somebody that recently is in WWE now, Carmelo Hayes. I wish I got to catch him while he was out here. I'm pretty sure he would have that man looks like he knows his stuff.
Oh, he's incredible. He really is.
He has the look. He has the ability. I'm not too familiar with like big names from the indie scene out here.
What about some of the guys you met at APW? I mean, I'd like to see you go at Ryan Drew. Would be nice. Matt Magnum too.
Well,
both those guys could go.
We kind of had that already
in a tag team match.
Yeah, like a little handicap tag team match. I would love to go throw it down on an even square with them again. But APW roster wise, I would love to go against what's it, Nico? Yeah. Nico's so great, dude. I'd definitely like to kick Elia's ass. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I can say it's my fault.
I think a lot of people want to kick his ass.
You know, and then we got so many talents coming out that are coming in. You know, we got Keon. I had already wrestled him, but he's just getting started. You know, so he's just gonna improve and improve and improve.
Well, Landon Hale.
Oh man, I love that guy, dude. I love him, bro. I would love to have a one-on-one with him. We had that tag match where it was me and Amato against him and Mac Daniels. Yeah. But I would definitely love to have a one-on-one with him because I think, compared to where I was that match to where I'm at now, I think we could put on a banger.
I'd like to see you take on Channing Thomas too. You know, have you met Channing?
Channing Thomas.
He trains at the lockup. He's wrestled
yeah, definitely. And
B.I.G.
Oh,
that's another kid.
I want Obro.
Who's that?
Owen Brody.
Oh, yes. Now, he's wrestled quite a bit. Is he coming back to APW? Do you know? I mean, I know he's been in and out.
Well, I'm not really
He's pretty talented.
He is, man.
He's pretty talented.
I love that dude, but I definitely want to throw it down with him for sure.
Right.
But yeah, that's really it for that question. I don't really know much, you know.
How about I just throw some names at you guys that I think you'll know, and you can just tell me what you think about them.
Run it.
Like a tag team. We talked about them off there. Mainstay Posse, Danger Kid, and Aiden Ago.
Yep.
Great tag team, man. They're actually going to be on Dark. Is that tonight?
Yeah, it's tonight.
Nice.
Yeah, I owe a lot to those
guys.
I owe a lot to those guys, man. I told them, like, all right, so during that time of like that 3-month hiatus that I took in there in pro wrestling, I got into a really dark time.
Yeah.
Suicide, you know, stuff like that, and I reached out to them online.
Nice.
And I don't know who it was, if it was Agro or it was Danger Kid, but one of them, you know, reached back and gave me some word of encouragement and wisdom, and it kept me going. And I got to work Larry Huntley's fair show a month ago, and I got to share a card with them, and I made it a point to let them know that you know, that message, whether you guys remember it or not, or you know, that it meant a lot to me, you know. And now he ended up reaching out to me like a couple weeks ago, and now I'm getting to have this tag match with them in November, so it's gonna be dope, man.
It's nice that you reached out, because I mean, and believe me, I've been what you were just talking about. I've been there too, you know. And so you wrestled for Larry at NAWA.
Yep.
You also went down, and did you work or just help out at New World Wrestling Extreme for Trooper, Jimmy Allen?
I was starting to just help out, and then there was one day where I just pulled up for Ring Crew, and it was just one of those things where they were like, "Got your gear bag?" And I was like, "Yes, sir." Nice. And I ended up debuting there against Sheik. You know, he's a good dude.
Yeah.
You know, so I haven't been back there since, because I've been mad busy with other stuff, or sometimes APW like involves with NWE. But I believe I'm supposed to be popping up there this weekend just to see what's going on. But yeah, the goal is just trying to get out there, you know. So it was definitely fun out there. The atmosphere and the people out there are great, dude.
Yeah, he's got a good crowd.
Yeah.
And I think on the next show he's having is Rhino. He's gonna be there.
Yeah, I heard that. Yep.
Probably go live one of these days this week. Plug all the shows that are coming up.
Right on.
You know. All right. So you said you went down to LPW. And who did you end up meeting down there? Like, is any of the guys, any of the crew?
So I know some of the people that are there regularly, like Gal. You know, there's Keegan will be there. Spartano will be there sometimes. So
Cashew's there every show.
Yep. So I tried. Cashew actually makes my gear.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah. So
and Davian's worked there quite a bit too.
Yeah. Yep. And she's gonna be at the Nashville show. So that's cool. So when I go out there, try to support. I know they had like a tag team tournament going on, and I tried to like get the neighborhood pitch for it, but everything was already pre-locked.
Right.
But, I'm hoping that within the year or so, if we could get this neighborhood thing going, the goal is definitely to go for the LPW tag titles and eventually APW tag titles and just get some gold under the belt,
And the neighborhood is who? You and?
Kid V.
I knew it. I didn't know if you were going to say it this time.
I didn't want to, but I'm going to do it for the guy for the one time, man. That's it.
Yeah, but those guys that run LPW, man, they're doing really good.
Yeah, man.
Jim Burgoyne and Chris Sullivan, great guys. Yep. They know the wrestling business inside and out. They do a lot of things. They do signings. Yep. They do toys for tots. They do a lot of good things for our New England independent wrestling. All right, so you said you went up to the top rope?
Yeah, I did a couple shows in top rope over the past summer, which was pretty cool. A lot of they got a couple good students on the rise over there. Sarah J is one of them. Damn, I'm pissed. I'm missing names right now, but they got like 3 other dudes. One of the students, I think his name's Riley. I'm sorry if I'm messing it up. But they've been in APW, one as a ref and one as a wrestler, and they're building really good talent. Like when I go to these shows, when I go to any indie show, it's now I'm going there I'm always a student of the game.
Right.
So. What was instilled to me was, ring positioning, crowd interaction, and I'm always looking for that when I'm at other indie shows.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to, and when I go to top rope and I see their guys work, I'm like, these dudes are gonna be something.
Right.
They're gonna be next on the rise, So they've been doing good stuff. I got to work Keon there. I think I got to work Kid V there. And we did like a few. I think we did a fair show, and then we did a festival show and a camp show. It was like a student showcase. So that was cool. We were on like a campgrounds. It was a really good crowd. It's really fun. The guys over there are awesome.
Awesome. Now, do you still hear from veterans, ears open, mouth shut? Because that was something that used to hear, like all the guys would say to the young guys. I'm just curious if it's still something that they say.
I haven't had. I mean, I've heard it. I've heard that for sure. But I definitely believe it.
Right.
It's something that is very true. Keep your ears open, mouth shut. Because you need to. If you're in a match and you're like, for example, me and AG's the more experienced guy. I'm the less experienced guy. If there's something I may have forgotten, AG's there to pick it up, bam, and like let me know something. If I can't hear him, we're messing it up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's that statement is a very true statement, because if you could just listen, that's it, bro.
Awesome.
You'll be able to get through a match.
We're gonna play like the name game. We're just gonna throw some names out at you. We'll probably start off with the APW roster, because I mean, at least I know we know you know all those guys. Vanity Vixen.
Amazing. She's great. Talk about bringing energy like to the building. Like as soon as she comes off, like the roof really blows off, and she is one of the very few that I see around that can really like grab a crowd. You know what I'm saying? And just keep them. And I know she's been around for a long time.
A very long time.
So it's like, for her to be where she's at now and still work at the level that she's at now, it's huge, dude.
And you said energy. I don't know if you ever see any of her videos. She does that thing where it's like, I don't know, you ever see the thing where they dance around and jump up and down? It's like a pogo stick, but one on each foot. Not really, you know what I'm talking about?
I know what
you're talking about. What do they call that thing?
I don't even know.
But she does that, and she makes it look effortless. And look at the shape she's got herself in the past 6 months.
Wow.
Incredible. How about Setharin?
Oh, model, man. He's great dude. Very knowledgeable. He's one of the dudes that end up coming to he's there at Gorilla, and like when I'm coming back from my match or any of the younger guys are coming back from their matches, he's there to just, hey man, you did great. Maybe do a little bit of this. It's always like he's pitching there because he's giving you the advice so that you can.
Change it.
Yeah, exactly. He's not doing it to be a hard.
Not at all.
What I'm saying? He's just wanting to make sure that you're doing it right, so that one, you're safe.
Yeah.
Your opponent's safe, and y'all look good. You know what I'm saying? That's just all it is. And I think he has a great mind for the business. For the 2 times I got to work with him, like in matches, like he's dope, man. And then to work to be trained under his partner is just next level for me too. It's just awesome.
No doubt. He is fantastic, and that's why I asked you. I was surprised that he wasn't up there helping the trainer, but it doesn't surprise me that he's hanging in Gorilla helping guys out because, like I said, he's helped a lot of guys out. How about Wildman Congo's manager, Ed Hunt?
Ed Hunt, man, that dude got him. He has a mouthpiece for days, but he genuinely like is the Paul Heyman of like APW, because like you give that dude a mic and he'll get you mad, he'll get you heated, and he's always again one of those dudes that are in the back that like are by monitor watching stuff, and then if he's watching my stuff, he's like, man, Monty, that was great, dude, and he's always trying to like talk positive and like give life and advice to everybody, man. And he's just such a great support in the back for everybody. So like he's such a good dude, man. I'm glad that I've gotten to meet him.
Right. How about his old, and she just came back, his old wrestler, Widow Belmont?
Oh yeah. I didn't know too much of Widow. But like again, I've gotten to see like her work, and like again, like there's not too many, I would say, female wrestlers in the indie scenes that work the way they work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like indie scenes now are like Spot Fest, you know, all this crap, but like they stay true to like the origins of what like a pro wrestling match and what pro wrestlers or female pro wrestlers are, you know, and they really hold like a standard for any other female talents coming into APW, you know, because again, like she knows her stuff.
She's been around a while too. She's been around a while.
Yeah, so it's like I think she's amazing, and I'm seeing what she's doing now, and it's just like I hope that maybe, you know, like one day we could work something. Yeah. And it's just it's cool to see it, you know.
You know who's been impressing me, and she's not at every one of their shows, but Shannon Levangie.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yep.
She's working hard.
Yeah.
She's young. At least she looks very young.
Nah, yeah, she is. I started training with her before she started working live shows at Nepwa, and then like not too long after, like she started working live shows. But like to see her progress, like, dude, before she was working shows, dude, she was busting butt, bro, in that ring, doing stuff that like, holy crap, yo, you know. So and she's hanging with the best of them. Cash was in there doing the same drill, Aaron Rohr, you know, all these people, and she's hanging with them, you know. And not too many people could do that, you know. And she's just continuing to find herself now, and I can't wait until like that time really happens and she really starts to be like a standard bearer or whatever, like for the women's division in New England.
Now, she's definitely impressed me, and like I said, she's so young, and I mean, I've only seen her wrestle like 3 or 4 times at APW, but I try to watch the newer guys because I want to see how you guys progress. Right. And she's definitely impressed me quite a bit. How about, we already talked about Landon Hale, how about the owner, Michael Morse?
Michael Morse, man, that's the dude, man. He's a great guy. Like, I can only imagine how hard it is to run something like this, right? You know, and for him to be consistent with it. And like lately, we've been gaining traction in APW, like as a promotion. Like when we had that Rochester show, that Rochester show went from almost canceled to like sold out. And it was like, holy crap, you know? And we're like him and Brian Malonis are gonna, I truly believe within the next year or two, like they're gonna take APW to a level that like it should have been at already. Right. You know, and I
hope so.
I think like his mind for the business, he wants the young talent to there, you know? He wants to be that platform for the young talents to have a platform. And he's just always so supportive. He's there for the ring crews, like how like he doesn't have to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like he's there and he's always making sure like he's taking care of the ring crew guys, you know, like taking care of everybody, man. And it's very humble, dude. And like you look at him and you be like, oh, I don't want to talk to that guy. But like as soon as you talk to him, dude, he's just like the most laid back dude in the world, man. So I love that guy, man. And I appreciate him so much because he gave me the opportunity to be myself in that ring, giving me multiple opportunities to be there. And every time that he's giving it to me, I just want to keep showing him, give me the ball and I'm gonna run with it. You know what I'm saying? And he continues to do that for me, and I could just be forever grateful for him.
And that's a great attitude to have. Give me the ball, let's go. Another veteran over there, Stip Mike. Have you been in the ring with him yet?
I have not, but I've taken a chop from the dude.
That was what I was going to get to. Did he chop you yet?
He chopped my soul out of my body, and it came back. Okay? And that was, but I asked for it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna lie. I like to tease the guy, but like, he's aggressive, dude. But he, again, another dude that like has such a good mind for the business.
And wants to help.
Exactly. And like, like people looked at me and they're like, "Oh, you're a big man," and they wanted me to move like a big man, and I don't want that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm a big man, but I could do flips. I can hang. I mean, you know
he's a good sized guy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So you could definitely do it.
But like, I've also learned being able to also work that big man in some of my stuff, and like he's been a part of like that, like teaching me like, man, you don't gotta do this. You could do this, and remember, you're a big dude. You could play to this, and then and I think he's just like really, really dope guy, man. Good mind for the business again, and like a hard chopper, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. And because if I say anything negative, you're gonna be at the next APW show. You know what I'm saying? My chest gonna be indented. So.
Well, you brought him up earlier. Who's helping out Michael Morse, Brian Malonis, the Kingpin.
Yes, man. Great dude. He's probably another dream opponent for sure. But he's taken that time like after matches to check in with dudes and just be there and creatively, like he has such a good mind for like making a show, like the production aspect and stuff like that, and just running storylines and just being able to make all these matches and stuff. And I'll never forget, he came up to me and after the AG match, and he was just like, man, like you killed it, dude, and like that's something I should be proud of. And I'm just like, Brian Malonis is telling me that right now?
Isn't that awesome?
Holy crap. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just grateful for him, and I'm appreciative to be able to work under him as well, because he's gone to places. And I truly believe in this business, you got to be a sponge. Yep. So whatever I can do to absorb information, absorb advice, all that stuff, I'm going to take it and try my best to apply it, you know, and what's asked of me, do it, you know, and just keep moving. So Brian Malonis is like one of those guys, dude, because he has a story too. Oh yeah. You know, and like to see where he's at now compared to where he was a couple years ago, it's like, that's admiring, because he's a big dude that people wouldn't see, like ideally being something in this business, and he squashed that, you know? And that's huge, dude. That's huge for guys like me, bro, that feel like, oh man, my size ain't nothing, but like, damn, if Malonis could do it, I'm a big dude.
And when he got his chance at ROH, he snatched it. You know what I mean? Dude. And the confidence that he's always had in the ring, even just on the independent shows, all he needed was that chance.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, he's killing. He's still killing it back locally. Yep. He's been wrestling for Proving Ground too. Have you?
Proving Ground.
Todd Graham?
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. I haven't followed too much of Proving Ground, but
they're really starting to get some momentum. They really are.
That's awesome, dude. I've seen it. It's definitely like probably like some of the promotions I'm trying to get on. I'm also trying to like do something with Fight in Rhode Island. Yeah. I've been seeing what they've been doing. But yeah, I've seen some things about Proving Grounds, and again, I'd be interested, you know, like that's a place, anywhere that I could work, anywhere to get some reps in, you know. Right.
There's a lot of good companies down that way too. I mean, you got XWA, RWA, PAP was Pioneer, PVP, Pioneer Valley Pro Wrestling. There's Paradise Alley, which is run, if I'm not mistaken, by Paul Roma. Okay. Then you go to Connecticut, you got the NEW, where they have Dan Marv, who's been the champ for over 900 days straight. You know? Crazy. So there's so many great places for you to work, man. Just keep getting yourself around. Now, did you meet Todd? Todd was on the show, the last APW show. He took on Congo. I never got a chance to talk to him.
I don't think so, man. That's crazy, though, but I'm definitely doing it next time. Yeah. Oh, wait, actually, I did, actually. Yeah, okay.
He's a good-sized guy, too,
man.
Yeah,
he is.
You know?
Yeah. Good
that match was really good against Congo.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, Congo, wish you the best, man.
Yes,
Get
sir.
healthy.
Yes, sir.
So we can see you back in the ring.
Yes, sir.
All right, so you said like you were at NEPA for a while. So like your trainers were, Chase. Was Max there? Max Smashmaster there?
Yes.
Scotty Slade? I wasn't sure.
Yep.
Yeah, was he? Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
And any of the Logans? I know Brian was there for a while recently, and then he came back to wrestle. Brian Logan.
I think that's what I'm mistaking Scotty for.
Okay.
As Brian Logan. Yeah, and then I know I think his work name in Chaotic. He was he's the announcer for Chaotic.
Rich Paldito?
No. One of the he's the British dude.
Oh, okay, yeah, I forget his name. Yeah.
His first name's Darren.
Okay.
But oh my God,
yeah,
dude, he's so great, man. Like the small times that I've gotten to like be in the ring and just learn from him, like crap, man.
Right.
Like he's such a good mind. All the trainers there are really well, man.
Right.
Like they know their stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like if they see the potential in you, they're gonna push you,
right?
Because they want to make sure that you really want to see if you really want this, you know. And then when you show that you really want this, man, the sky's the limit because the knowledge, the track record, the stuff that they have there, the stuff they can provide for you there is just so like beneficial for anybody in their career. So it's like the dudes over there are amazing. I love the guys over there, but. You know, I found my home where I'm at now, and like I love the people and the stuff that I'm doing now there, and you know, I always wish the best for them over there, man.
Who ran the promo class though? I've never asked anybody that before. Like at New England Pro Wrestling, would that be Chase would run? Who would run?
I don't even know. I don't think I've ever even went to a promo class.
Oh, okay, all right.
But yeah, I would assume maybe Chase.
I mean, he's probably the most charismatic with the microphone in his hand. There's no doubt.
All day.
All right. Well, some of your friends are trained at Elite Pro Wrestling Academy.
Yeah.
Have you ever got the chance to train with Mike Hollow?
I did. I trained under him. You know, I give him a lot of credit to my ability to watch my ring awareness and my foot positioning. But I trained under him when he was under Next Gen. Before they left to Elite. But yeah, that's another man that like talk about knowing his stuff. You know, like he knows his stuff, man. So I'll be forever grateful for the knowledge he was able to instill in me.
Right.
So yeah, he's a great dude, man. Then there's I know Politician's over there, Ronnie's over there, Will's over there. I think there's like two other guys that I'm not too familiar with, but I see that they're doing their thing, man.
Yep.
And you know, I was telling Scott Reed the other day, you know, not too long ago, that I hope that you know, everything goes as planned for them and they create something.
Right. Yep.
You know, it sucks to hear about what happened at the
that
APW
was
show.
sad. Yeah.
So like.
It happened early too in the
know,
match.
right
That's when I knew it was real.
Yeah,
because the match ended after like not even 3 minutes.
Yeah, man, it was something tough to see, dude.
Yeah,
and you know, just to him, you know, speedy recovery. To
yeah,
him
definitely, Scott.
But yeah, man, that's really all I got for Elite, man.
Right.
You know.
Well, most of the guys, if I'm not mistaken, that are on TV today, Mike Hollow had a little bit of hand in training.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, each and every one of them.
Yeah.
You know, he's been around for so long.
Yeah,
and he was down at the Chaotic Training Center before and all that, you know. All right. Do you wanna plug anything? Why don't you plug your social media? Let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, man. You can find all my music on Spotify, all iTunes, wherever you listen to streaming platforms. You can find that on there. I'm planning on dropping some stuff pretty soon.
Is it under your?
Yeah, under the name that you gave them to show the Monty Aries with the S. That's where you'll find me on those platforms. With the Z is All Pro Wrestling. So you can find me there. You can follow me on Instagram, Main Shooter Aries with a Z. You can find me on Twitter, Aries _ Monty. You can find me on TikTok, Main Shooter Aries on there too. I'm starting to like gain some traction over there, so I could appreciate some follows. And that's it. Facebook too, the Main Shooter Monty Aries. So yeah, that's all my plugins. Big shout out to my trainers, you know, Bud Browning, you know, Julian Starr. Shout out to, you know, this annoying dude that's on my shirt. You know, he's been, if it wasn't for him, man, like I don't know what I'd be doing right now. He's been helping me, and he truly became a brother, and I'll be forever eternally grateful for him.
You need people like that in your life. Man. You do.
And you know, so shout out to all those people. You go ahead, give me those follows and stuff, and I really appreciate you for having me on.
Nah,
here,
my pleasure. We got 2 minutes. Let's just. Did you hear about all that crap at AEW? That fight in the locker room?
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
I saw the interview the next morning, like the scrum thing with the Punk, and I just was, I couldn't believe the facials Tony Khan was making when Punk was saying stuff. I was like,
man.
wow.
And that's a whole sticky situation, dude.
Yeah.
Pro wrestling industry behind the scenes for a lot of places right now is like very weird. It's a weird time in pro wrestling. I think that whole scene, I think it's bad publicity, but for AEW, I think things should have been handled way differently.
Yes.
Like we're in pro wrestling, like the first
you're
thing
right.
before wrestling or wrestler is professional. So you should always handle and conduct business that way, especially staying in the business that way. You know, maybe people got the best of them. People make mistakes, but definitely there's no need to bite people. There's no need to be throwing chairs
around.
crap.
It was crazy though.
But you know, I hope that everything squares off.
Yeah, I hope they can work itself out where they can do business with each other in the ring and not worry about, you know, oh my.